Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Gamer. Good morning. So, recently, Horizon Zero Dawn was announced for PC, and just this past week, or last week, we got official announcement and video and trailers of the actual game running on PC. It's absolutely beautiful. They gave PC gamers all the stuff we love, widescreen support, ultra graphics, extra foliage, all the good stuff that makes us want a game on PC. And of course, the fanboys, the Sony fanboys are going crazy. And I don't understand all this. I'm not trying to make sense of it all. I've already made sense of it. And sometimes, somebody's got to speak up on this bullshit because nobody seems to be doing it, but it runs rampant. It gets in the true gamers' feeds. It gets in the developers' feeds, the publishers' feeds. This bullshit has got to stop, and the only way to stop it is to educate the masses about what's going on. Make people think. So, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn's coming out on PC, Steam, everywhere, Epic Store, whatever. It's coming out. Great for PC gamers. Okay? That's a great thing. Anytime a developer makes a game, they want as many people to play the game as possible. Okay? If that developer is exclusive to the console, so be it. But if they're not exclusive, hey, the more people that can play, the better. And you notice all these third-party publishers make games for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, and sometimes Switch, and mobile. They're trying to create as many revenue streams as possible to maximize on their profits. That is the business of gaming. And what fanboys don't understand is that these companies are in this business to make money. They're not in it to win or lose. They're in to create market share and revenue and make the shareholders happy. Okay? So, if you go all the way back to let's go way back. So, the bots, the Xbox did the same thing. When Microsoft decided to publish all its first-party titles on PC, Xbox fanboys went fucking nuts. Oh, Microsoft, you're betraying us. For all those who don't know, way before there was Xbox, Microsoft was publishing games on PC. Midtown Madness, Age of Empires, Motocross Madness, Flight Simulator. They were always a PC game publisher. When they created the Xbox, they switched their focus to making games for the console. Matter of fact, Halo was going to be a Mac and Windows game before they bought Bungie, and they bought so they bought Bungie, canceled development on the Windows and Mac version at the time, and put Halo as a Xbox exclusive. Smart move. And Microsoft made money off that, whatever. Okay. But later on, this past generation, Microsoft decided, hey, maybe we should be putting games on PC. Now, what fanboys will tell you is that Microsoft put games back on PC. They put their first-party games on PC because they weren't selling enough and Microsoft was desperate. No. The point of being in the video game business is to create revenue. As a previous PC game publisher, it made sense for Microsoft to publish games on PC. Activision, EA, Rockstar, Bethesda, they all publish their games on PC as well as console. Are they desperate? No. They want to create they want to maximize their revenue. So they put it on as many platforms as possible. Microsoft, as a game publisher, not only are they a console maker, but they're also a game publisher. And just like the third-party game publishers, they should be able to put their properties on PC as well as console, as well as Switch, because they want to, because they're revenue streams. They're not doing it because they're desperate. Desperate is Google Stadia now free. That's desperate. Okay. Microsoft is not desperate. Sony's not desperate. Okay. I haven't seen desperation from a video game publisher in years. What are you talking about? So anyway, so that's Microsoft. Microsoft went to PC. Xbox went crazy. They don't make any sense. Okay. So then the Sony so Horizon Zero Dawn, it's coming out on PC. Sony fanboys going crazy, saying Sony betrayed them and it's going to hurt the PlayStation brand. Honestly, Sony fanboys, and I know you're watching, do you really think that if Sony puts their AAA first-party games on PC, that it is going to kill the PlayStation brand? Do you think people are just going to stop buying consoles and buy everything on PC? I remember way back when, on the Warzone, when I kept telling people to buy PC, get into PC gaming, it's really cool, you get the best graphics, frame rates, and everybody's like, oh, I'm not having that, it's too much money, you got to upgrade every couple months, and then drivers, and errors and bugs, and I like to play in my living room, I don't want to play in my office. Yeah. Oh, you can hook a PC up to the TV? Still, I don't want to get a PC, it's too expensive. When Microsoft started putting their games on PC, every pony was like, oh, I'll just buy it on PC. Oh, I'll just buy it on PC. All of a sudden, everybody's got a gaming PC, which is bullshit, okay? Horizon Zero Dawn. Coming out on PC. Sony fanboys going nuts. They think that for some reason that if PC gamers... Now, unbeknownst to these fools, there are PC gamers out in the world that do not give two shits about console gaming. There are PC gamers that only want to game on PC. That's it. They don't care about Xbox. They don't care about PlayStation. They don't care about Switch. They want to play everything they have on PC. Done. But for some reason, these fanboys think that all of a sudden, everybody has a gaming PC, and if the PlayStation games are on PC, then people will stop buying PlayStations, which is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. While I do think the console space is changing, I don't think it's going to die. I think it's going to make a huge transformation in the future. But the PlayStation brand is very strong. It's a global brand. They sold 100 million PS4s. Do you think 100 million people are going to say, fuck it, I'm not buying a console anymore, I'm just going to get everything on PC? No. But as you know, there's a lot of PC gamers out there who also have a PS4. They don't have that PS4 because they want to have a console. There are certain games on PlayStation that those PC gamers want to play, and the only way to play them is get a PlayStation. So if those games are on PlayStation, they're on PC now, then those PC gamers don't have to buy a console, don't have to buy into the console ecosystem. There are those gamers out there like that. But I'd say the majority of diehard PC gamers don't give a flying fuck about consoles. But they want to play those games. But no diehard PC gamer is going to say, I'm going to go out and buy a PlayStation for that one game. I don't believe that. You know? And they're talking about the cost of Horizon that's $50. So fucking what? That's $10 cheaper than it was when it came out. And it's quote-unquote a new game for PC gamers. PC gamers don't give a fuck about waiting 4 or 5 years for a game. PC gamers got so much shit to play, they don't give a fuck. PC gamers have more exclusives than Xbox and PlayStation 4 combined. Plus, they get all the third-party stuff. They get all the indie stuff. There's plenty of games out there for PC gamers. There's games on PC that you will never, ever see on a console in your entire life. PC gamers are fine. They don't have a problem waiting 4 years for a fucking console game to come on PC. They don't give a shit. But when it comes out, they're going to buy it. Okay? So, this whole idea that the PlayStation brand is somehow going to die if they put their games on PC, you're fucking retarded. Now, these are the same dudes who this entire generation, every fucking month, the NPD, PlayStation number one, look at all those sales, they're killing Xbox, 2-to-1 ratio, blah, 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 blah. Sales. Look at 100 million, PlayStation's 100 million. So, if you're happy because PlayStation is selling a lot of consoles, It means that you're happy that Sony is making money. Sales equal revenue. Sales equal revenue. If you're happy about Sony selling games and consoles, then you're happy that they're making revenue. So if Sony creates another revenue stream by putting their first-party games on console, why are you upset about that? You guys are a living, breathing fucking contradiction. You literally have gone this entire generation talking about Sony PlayStation sales and how much they've dominated and how badass that is. Ha ha ha, winning the console war. But when Sony, who is in this business to make money, wants to create another revenue stream to make more money, you're upset about that all of a sudden? You're upset. You love it when Sony makes money, and now you're upset when Sony makes money. You all are fucking retarded. It's stupid. Sony is a game publisher. If Activision, EA, Bethesda, and Rockstar can publish all their titles on console and PC, then so can Sony and Microsoft. They have every right to make revenue off of their games. Period. They can. They're a publisher, they can do it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's never been anything wrong with it. But in your world, in your tiny brain, you think that because they're a game maker and a console maker, that they shouldn't be allowed to put their games on other systems. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm not going to make sense to it. You guys are just a bunch of gidgets. And that's that. Everything for you is fuel for the console war. You don't have a girlfriend. You don't get laid. You never played any sports. The only thing you have in life is fucking games. Because that's the only thing you can win at. So when all this shit happens, you get super frustrated. It's ridiculous and childish. You know? There's nothing wrong with Sony making extra revenue. It's a good thing. Even if they only sell 100,000 copies on PC, that's $50 million revenue. That's more money than they would have made if they didn't put it on PC. Do you honestly think from this point on that Horizon Zero Dawn is going to continue selling? I can tell you what it sold. I think Horizon Zero Dawn, it's not even charting anymore. Do you honestly think that Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4 is going to sell 100,000 copies from this point on? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. But by putting it on PC, they guarantee that they're going to make some money off of that. And all Guerrilla had to do was do some tweaks to put it on PC. Because you know all the stuff's developed on PC anyway. So they tweaked it, put some extra features in, and they got it to run on PC. And if it sells, Sony will continue to do it. Why is Sony doing it? Well, Sony, as a game publisher and console maker, looks at Microsoft and it's like, hey, Microsoft is selling their first party games on PC too, and people are actually buying them. They've created another revenue stream for their first party games. Holy shit. They're even putting shit on the Switch and making money. Why can't we do that? We're Sony. We're the number one. We're dominant. Why can't we put our games on PC too and make that extra revenue? Well, we can. We have a 4-year-old game that's about to get a spike in sales thanks to PC gamers. That's going to look really good in our quarterly meeting. We're selling a game that's been out for 4 years in bulk on PC and making additional revenue. Bravo. And if this works, then we can do it with some of our games. Mark my words. Once this comes out, and I already gave my copy of Horizon Zero Dawn away on PS4 because I want to support Guerrilla. I'm going to buy it for $50 with all the features, the complete edition, and the widescreen and the frames and all that stuff. I'm going to support Guerrilla because, you know, you have to support these companies when they do stuff like this, because if you support them, they'll continue to do it. And that's what's important. So yes, I'm going to support Guerrilla just like I supported Naughty Dog, or not Naughty Dog, Insomniac when Sunset Overdrive came out on PC. I bought it again. You have to support these efforts. You know, vote with your wallet. Fanboys don't vote with their fucking wallet. Xbox fanboys didn't buy shit this generation. They failed. They're a big failure. They didn't buy Sunset Overdrive. They didn't buy Quantum Break. Y'all failed. Y'all talked a bunch of shit. Y'all a bunch of poor motherfuckers. You know? And it's like, and the other thing is, it's like a game will sell 10 million on the PS4, and the fanboys will be like, oh, that's enough. It sold 10 million. You don't have to put it on another console. Business doesn't work like that. I'm pretty sure if the Sony fanboys were to run Sony for a month, they'd be all fanboy and be like, oh, we can't put this on PC. We can put this on other platforms. Because they don't understand the business side of fucking video games. They don't understand business at all. There is no console war between Sony and Microsoft. It's only the fanboys. Sony and Microsoft give two fucks about the console war. They might have some laughs with it and say some shit just to get you all riled up, but they don't give a fuck. All they care about is revenue. Microsoft does not care that Sony sold more consoles than them. Microsoft cares about revenue. It's just like Apple and Samsung. I think Samsung sells more phones than Apple, but I could be wrong. Let's check this out, just to prove my point. Apple versus Samsung market share. So, let's see. 72.9 million iPhone units and 70 million Samsung units. So, Apple's got a little bit more market share than Samsung. Do you think Samsung cares that Apple has more market share than them? What do you think Samsung cares about? Let's look at Apple versus Google. Apple iOS continues to hold a large share of the smartphone operating system market with the States, but Android remains the market leader at 51.8%. So, Android phones in general, there's more Android phones than there are Apple phones. We know that. I was just picking Samsung, but if you take all the Android phones, Samsung, Google, every single one, and compare them to Apple, of course there's going to be more Samsung than Apple. Okay? So, do you think that Apple cares that Android has a bigger market share than them? No. The question why? Because Apple is still making revenue. They are meeting their goals. They are in the green. They're not in the black. They're not in the red. They are meeting their financial goals. And that's what's important to these businesses. Did we meet our projections for the year? Yes. Does it matter that there's more Android phones being sold than Apple? No, because we met our projections. Microsoft has projections too. And Sony and Nintendo. Is Microsoft meeting its projections? Yes. In revenue, they met their projections. Did they meet the projections in sales? Probably not. They probably came under. I bet you their projected sales were 80 plus million. And they came under. But as in terms of revenue, Microsoft made their projections. It's out there on the internet somewhere. So if Microsoft is meeting its financial goals, do you think they care that Sony has more market share? Fuck no. Sony's a global brand. You can get a PlayStation anywhere in the fucking world. You can't get an Xbox anywhere in the fucking world. You know? So Microsoft has a lot of work ahead of them. They got to come up with some good games. They need to have some walking simulators to get that weeb crowd. Walking simulators and JRPGs, good ones to get the weeb crowd in. And the people who game in a bubble, bring them in. They still got to do the multiplayer thing. They need a diverse lineup of games. But they also need to make the Xbox available worldwide. It needs to become a global product. If I go to fucking Sudan, I need to be able to buy an Xbox. So they got a lot of work ahead of them. And this gen, it's not about Microsoft beating Sony. That's fanboy talk. All the beating and winning stuff. There's no winning. There's no losing. I say if you meet your financial goals, you're winning. If you have to take your console off the shelves early, you lost. So the Wii U lost. That's a loss for Nintendo. And the Switch is a win for Nintendo because they're meeting their financial projections for that console. That's business. So Microsoft doesn't have to beat Sony. They just have to do as well as Sony. A diverse library of games, global market, some megatons. Just do as well as Sony. Get your games out there. Get people talking about Xbox again. That's all you need to do. You don't have to beat them. Sony can still beat you. They can sell 100 million PS5s to your 80 million Xbox Series X's. That's okay. As long as you're making your money. You know, people thought Xbox was doomed last gen. Well, they made another console. So clearly they're making money. Sega's gone. They left the console business. Why? Because they were getting killed. It's that simple. Stop being fucking fanboys. You're never going to stop being fanboys. If you see fanboys on social media, just fucking block them. We need to stop giving these people a voice. You know? So, that's that. I will see you on the next Good Morning Gamer. You have a good morning.